He was in his bag on that song. Like, imagine you being Shaquille O'Neal, knowing that this is a passion project for you. Like, you don't need Biggie Smalls to give you 2 all-time level verses. And he did it anyway, just because he wanted to. I mean, absolutely incredible. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to day 21. There we go. On the BMM 30 series here on the Groove Line with your host, Chris Stevens. Hopefully you all are doing well out there this Saturday morning. Me, I did something to my knee when I went for a run Thursday morning. So I have just been icing the hell out of my knee. Hopefully it gets better because I don't like not being able to exercise. It's no fun for me. But good news is you guys benefit because I get to record a Groove Line or two a day in advance. And today, this one is going to air on Saturday. And today is Saturday morning. And I felt like going back to high school for a minute. Early high school for me. 1996 was the fall of 96 was the beginning of my 10th grade year. And that was one of my favorite years as a child, as a kid, teenage years, you discover, things. You remember the music. You remember hanging out with your friends. You remember your crushes, all of that good stuff. And today, we're going to talk about a song, not an entire album, but a song that just lends credence to the legendary status of a deceased rapper. So without further delay, let's talk about You Can't Stop the Rain. That's another one that just returned to stream recently. Remember earlier this week, I had Stephen J. Gaither on. We were talking about the SOS band returning to stream and how that was so fun for us old school, old soul types. Shaq putting You Can't Stop the Rain with Biggie, the Notorious B.I.G., back on stream earlier this year was just like actually it happened last year, but seeing that song back on stream was just took me all the way back to 10th grade. 10th grade was an interesting year for me. I had an after school job. I was a part of something called the Wilmington Enterprise Community Youth Clean Team. Yes, they had clean teams on East Side, Southbridge, Riverside, and West Side. And what we did for 2 hours a day after school was clean the streets for 2 hours. $5 an hour, $10 a day, $50 a week. It was fast food money for me. It was literally money for me because we had a McDonald's uptown at the time, and this was around the time. Wilmington, Delaware was an interesting place in 1996 because we had the infamous Tom Capano murder trial. Of course, he was eventually found guilty of killing his lover, Anne-Marie Fahey. And that was when the Daniel Herman courthouse was literally across the street from Wilmington Library. And I went to Howard High School of Technology, which was literally right down the hill. So I would, be coming up the hill, and then I would see the court TV trucks, the ABC trucks, the CNN trucks, the NBC, ABC. And this was the time in my life where I, again, started coming into some money because I had an after school job. I bought a Walkman and I would tape stuff off the radio and just listen to it wherever I was going. Like I literally had music in my ears my entire teenage time. But Shaq, by this time, this was either his second or third album. I can't remember if it was his second or his third. But either way, You Can't Stop the Rain is a sample of Loose End's Can't Stop the Rain. Loose End's version is R-A-I-N. Shaq's is R-E-I-G-N, as in rain, like king, reign, era, all of that stuff. And Shaq enlisted the help of the late, great Notorious B.I.G. Well, he wasn't late, great at that time, but this song dropped about a month after Tupac's murder. Never forget. And it just felt odd that Biggie was releasing music during this time, just because people were scared straight. I mean, of course, unfortunately, the same fate would befall him some months later, but it's just one of those songs that reminds me of getting up Saturday morning, either going to the library or just hanging out with my friends playing basketball, because I would turn on the TV or the radio. Actually, it would be on TV because Rap City used to come on and, right after the BET Video Soul Weekend Countdown. And that was one of the first videos that they would always play is Shaq in this 320. I think it's a 320. It might even be a SL. I'm not sure. Might even be an E-Class. I know it's a Benz. I'll have to go back and check and talk about it on another time. But yeah, I think it's a Benz regardless. And Biggie's not in the video. And it's important to know why Biggie is not in the video, because earlier in 96, when he was recording Everything for Life After Death, his Lexus LX450 was in the shop, and the dealership gave him a Lumina APV. If you're not familiar, that is the General Motors Dustbuster van. Imagine Biggie, 6'2", 6'3", 400 pounds, climbing in the back of a freaking Dustbuster. And his cousin, Lil C's, was 16 at the time. I keep forgetting C's ain't that much older than me. I keep forgetting C's and I are peers. That's so weird to me that C's is just so doggone young, probably because his voice was so deep. I did not sound like Lil C's at 16 years old. I sound like I sound right now. But C's was 16, and he was like, yo, Big, something's up with these brakes. And Big said, just drive. So C's drove, brakes went out. Biggie gets pinned in the car, shatters his leg, and Charlie Baltimore is in the car with him at the time. You know, she gets thrown to the front, and Big is in a wheelchair and convalescing, and eventually, remember the Hypnotized video that came out shortly after he died? He was walking with a cane because, well, you know, he had a broken leg, and he wasn't in the video, but he had recorded his stuff long before, and Shaq tells an amazing story about how, you know, Big came down to his studio in Orlando because he was still with the Magic at that time, but he was just about to sign with the Lakers. So Big comes to the house and Shaq is like, you need any help? Big's like, nah, I'm good. So Shaq goes and does some other stuff around the house in his studio because he's a businessman or whatever. And he comes back and Big is just sitting, you know, in the studio chilling. He was like, you recorded your verse? He's like, yeah, I recorded my verse. So Shaq goes back and listens to it and says, well, we got to cut the cusses out because, I mean, this is Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, he's one of the most popular athletes in America. Still one of the most popular athletes in America. And he's like, well, I can't have the cuss version, you know, put out as the single. Big said, no problem. And I think the only one is there in the beginning of the verse, he said, blessings with legends and vigors, cream lizards, cream coogies. I do my duty as long as they fly as me and high as me. Success in my circle. Try to break it, I hurt you. Ain't no getting out that. I doubt that. I mean, Big was floating the entire time. That's one of my favorite. Those are two of my favorite verses of his he ever did. It's probably verses that two of those verses and the verses on Victory. Those are the ones that make me so mad that he was killed so young, because I could imagine Big just floating on his flow today. I mean, it would only be 53. So it's not hard to imagine a dude with his level of talent, you know, keeping that thing going. If he had just, you know, watched his weight a little bit. I mean, because he was close to 400 pounds at the time of his death. But, and that didn't have anything to do with it, obviously. I mean, it was more about the, you know, the bullets than more than anything else. But Big floated on that, man. My favorite runs from any rapper is the second half of that first verse on You Can't Stop the Rain. We want the exotic, erotic ladies, not the toxic ladies that burned a lot. I learned a lot from junkies to ruffians, from being tied up by Colombians because 80 grams was missing. Listen, had to change my position from wanting to be large to head in charge. My garage, call it CeeLo. 4, 5s, and 6s. Honeys by the mixes. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Smoke out with Leo, Biggie Tarantino. Sounds like a sumo. Frank White, numero uno. Can't stop, won't stop. Like, I still get hyped, as you can tell, by that particular little second half of that verse 29 years later. I mean, there was nobody like Big at that time. And I don't think there's been anybody really like him since. And it's forced a little bit because he died so young. I mean, 2 studio albums during your lifespan, I don't think it makes you a GOAT rapper. I mean, but the flow, I mean, sheesh, you can't deny that Big could rap his ass off. No denying that at all. But I'm just not ready to, you know, push, you know, Rakim, LL, Big Daddy Kane, Hove, all these folks down the mountain. I mean, Big is definitely top 5 or top 10 for sure. Maybe even top 3. But it's just hard to say because his body of work just wasn't as expansive as most other rappers. But as far as the gift of rapping, the talent, the flow, the cadence, the breath control, okay, he's got a case. He's got a strong case, okay? But, you know, it's just those 2 verses, especially the last one, you know, allow him to a limit, my DC women and all of that. Like, he was in his bag on that song. Like, imagine you being Shaquille O'Neal knowing that this is a passion project for you. Like, you don't need Biggie Smalls to give you 2 all-time level verses. And he did it anyway, just because he wanted to. I mean, absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I mean, Shaq doesn't do too bad himself. I don't know who wrote Shaq's verses. Maybe Shaq wrote his own stuff. But, I mean, he held his own. He more than held his own with Big on Can't Stop the Rain. And again, this is sampling Loose Ends, You Can't Stop the Rain. And they got Jane Eugene, the lead singer of the song, to redo her choruses for Shaq's version. I mean, come on, man. It's just, man, it doesn't get no much better than that. Like on Saturday morning, I'm going to clean my house and probably start with You Can't Stop the Rain just because I just want to go back to when I was 15 years old. I didn't have bills. I had, youth. I didn't have knee problems like I have right now. Like this knee is really kicking my butt, bro. But yeah, I just wanted to make this. I just wanted to make this sort of a fun little Saturday morning thing because the next 9 days is going to be a lot of music. It's going to be a lot of social commentary. It's going to be a lot of stuff that makes Black Music Month important. And I'm not saying this song isn't important in the space of Black music or Black history, but it just doesn't compare to the stuff that I'm going to be talking about, the artists I'm going to be talking about. So I just wanted to make this light. It's like the Saturday morning. I know y'all got stuff to do, so you can listen to this or just watch it while you getting ready to do whatever you do on a Saturday. So that's why it's going to be a short episode. So that's going to do it for day 21 of the BMM 30 series here on the Groove Line. Thank you for taking this ride with me. Contact information will be in the description below. Don't forget to like and comment on the video so the algorithm can pop. And if you're new, remember to like. Yeah, still like and comment, but also subscribe and tap the notification bell is what I'm trying to say. So, we can get more people to check out this channel and the music discussions that we have. We have some great music discussions. So thank y'all for riding with me on the Groove Line. Till the next time we ride. Y'all be good or be good at it.